Hello, friends. It's Terry from Uncle Terry's Beginner Guitar. It's been about 15 years since my last post on YouTube, so a lot of water under the bridge for me. Probably look at least 15 years older, but that is okay. So I want to pick up a little bit where I left off in the first lessons that I posted on YouTube. We talked about very basic things, the parts of the guitar, to chords, how to finger different chords and how to do different strumming or picking styles, and how to play basic songs with the guitar. Now I want to get into a little bit of music theory because I think that can be helpful. You don't have to read music, obviously, to play the guitar. I don't really read music well, but having some basic theory will help you as you try to learn songs, how to learn leads to songs, and how to play with other people. So we're going to start today with some basics about the major scale and how the guitar is kind of set up to play notes of a scale. So I'm going to turn the camera down a little bit toward the fretboard so you can see better. So let's just start by going over again the notes of the guitar strings in standard tuning. In standard tuning, the low note is E, fifth string is A, fourth string is D, third string is G, second string is B, and the first string is also E. So those are the basic notes. Standard notation in music has been around for hundreds of years. Probably started sometime around the 11th century with an Italian monk, Guido Desi. Developed a system of standard notation using what we all see, the familiar staff and the lines and spaces, and naming the notes. And then it went on from there over the centuries to what we have today. Now, guitar is set up with frets, and the frets each represent what is called a semitone or a half step in the scale. So everyone knows the old familiar do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So if you're playing in the scale in the key of G, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Now, what is it that makes up the major scale? Well, I think I can show best by just playing all the notes in the scale on one string. So I'm just going to use the high E string, and we're going to go up the neck and play the major scale in the key of E, the major scale in E. With the guitar, again, each fret represents a half step. So 2 frets is a whole step. Now, in a major scale, you have 8 notes, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, and do, and there are specific intervals between those notes that make up a major scale. So in the key of E, you have the E, the F sharp, the G sharp, the A, the B, the C sharp, the D sharp, and back to E. So it's important to understand the intervals between those notes in a major scale. So let's start with the root note E. The second note is F sharp. That is a whole step, right? Because if it were a half step, it would be F. That doesn't sound right. So E, do, re, that's E, F sharp. The third note is also a whole step. G sharp on the fourth fret of the E string. And then the next note, the fourth note in the scale, only goes up a half step. To that A. So do, re, mi, fa. Fa in E is the A. So you got your root note, a whole step, a half step, and then a whole step to B, a whole step to C sharp, a whole step to E flat or D sharp, same thing, E flat, D sharp, and then back to E on the 12th fret. So on the guitar, it takes 12 frets to get through the 8-note scale. So one more time, open E, 2nd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 9th fret, 11th fret, and 12th fret. Do, me, re, fa, sol, la, ti, and do. So the important thing is there's a half step tone between the 3rd and the 4th notes, and a half step between the 7th and the 8th notes of the scale, and all the rest are whole steps. One more time. Open E, 2nd fret, 4th fret. Here's your half step. 5th fret, whole step to the 7th fret, whole step to the 9th fret, whole step to the 11th fret, and then a half step up to the root note, which is 1 octave up from where we started. Octave meaning 8. So the 8 notes up from where we started is another E. So we started on E and we finish on E. Now, you can play a major scale in starting with any note. But all of the major scales have that same relationship, whole tones, except for the notes between the 3rd and the 4th note and the 7th and the 8th. So let's do the G scale. This time I'm not going to play on just one string. I'm going to start on G. G. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So we're going to start on G. We're going to go up a whole step to the 2nd fret. We're going to play the B string open. That's a whole step. Now here's our 4th note. That's a C, and that is a half step. There's a whole step to the D. Whole step up to the E. Whole step up to the 2nd fret, which is F sharp. And then the last note is G. So G open, 2nd fret, open B string, 1st fret B string, 3rd fret B string, open high E string, 2nd fret on the E string, 3rd fret on the E string. Now, what would be a good thing to do is just practice those scales in all of the different notes, starting with all the different notes. So you can do that with we did it in E, we did it in G, you can do it in D. In D it would be D note open, always start with the root note, D, whole step up to E, whole step up to F sharp, half step up to G, whole step up to A, whole step up to B, whole step up to C sharp, and half step up to the D. So that is a major scale. And again, practice that in all, starting with all the different notes, and that will help you get familiar with the major scale and also the neck of your guitar. So we'll end it there today, and this will help you as you think about transposing from one key to another if you're playing and jamming with friends. We'll get to that in later lessons, and it'll help as you take leads during a song. It'll help you to learn how to play some leads. So that's the major scale. We'll leave it at that. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a great day, and we will see you again soon.